It's my first taco.
So you first, like one, and you just like you can take it like this, and it's easier. It's a little bit difficult, okay? I can't. It's a lot of people. Yeah.
This side?
Deliver that side, inside. Yeah. That. Yeah. Lemon is the basic thing that you should have. Salt. This kind of tacos, like, it's the same, but they have too many sauces that I don't even know what is it. But just check because some of them are spicy. Well, you can choose whatever you want.
Try this sauce.
It's tomato. This is like guacamole. You want? For me, it's like cucumber. You can try it. It's like tomato with chili. be spicy. This one, yeah, is the spicy one. You have to put just like tiny. No.
Oh. Okay, I want to try that. How about vanilla?
Which one do you want to look at?
It looks pretty.
This one?
Yeah. What is the name?
Concha.
Concha. I'll try this. Yeah. Okay.
Good. This is Minju's first time drinking. No, this is not Minju's first time drinking chai, but this is Minju's first time trying Mexican bakery, so it's going to be beautiful. I'm so excited. Let's see if you like. Do you remember the name of that one?
Cha.
Right? Something before cha.
Pucha.
Concha.
Cha.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when.
It's nice.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. Here has a heart, but no anymore. A little bit.
A small heart.
Yeah.
Concha.
Concha.
Yes, go.
Ha robado todo y como ese en que lugar se enamora. La sombra de tu cuerpo y
Okay.
See ya.
Hola amigas, ya para la visita.
Wow.
Ahí compro un pollo, compro usted. Sí, yo lo voy a comprar también.
Ooh. It's still sharp. Oh, look at the dog.
Oliva en 100 pesos, La Llorona y La Muerte son de 400, se las con 300. La tortuga en 100 pesos. ¿Cómo suenan los jabones? Aunque no me compré, bueno, el que uso es este, están limpios, sanitizados. Se tapa la boca en hueco. El mío sale solo por la garganta, yo tapo en hueco la garganta, este es por la boca. Soplan timbrando la
Muchas gracias.
This one? Oh.
You can choose between
This and
this one. No, that one is more expensive. Yeah.
de 200 en 100.
Yeah.
Ándale.
Pretty.
How can I make a sound?
Ah, sí. El que tapa acá en hueco, lo sopla acá.
It's a baby.
Para que sople más fuerte la señorita, ahorita que salgan a comer, pídale un pulque de San Andrés.
Okay.
Cuando se acuesta no que sople con ganas.
Sí, I see. Okay.
Necesita agarrar más fuerza, más pulmón. ¿Eh? Con ganas. Ahí va, ahí va, ahí va, ahí va.
No?
너무
Sí, no
귀엽다.
pongas sirena, no más que
Say.
네. Feels like a puppy. It's the same, but you have to do it like. She can practice.
es nada más de práctica.
Yeah, thank you.
What is this? Jaguar.
Wow.
Limón, mango chamoy, uva, tamarindo, mango, guayaba, chicle, maracuyá con mango, fresas con crema, pistache, nuez, fresa yogur, crema de coco, chocolate, mamey, pay de limón, galleta Oreo o chongo zamorano.
That's my favorite flavor. Good. Okay. Oh, it's too hard. Oh. Thank you. Oh. A little bit different. It's almost jajangmyeon.
Yeah, right? I like that. They take care of it.
Thank you.
Enchilada verde.
Enchilada verde. Mm.
Which one?
Oh,
Yeah.
I can feel.
Yeah, here is.
I like this.
Forgot that. If you give them, they will just stay here. So we never feed them. In Korea, dogs are always like with people, you know? But here, it's not like that. It was shocking. I like that.
새우 타코 먹어야지.
Preparamos, comemos, al final se paga. ¿Les doy un menú?
Sí, muchas
Listo.
gracias. ¿Qué tiene de
De tomar tenemos refresco de la marca Pepsi, cerveza con jugo. Son de...
Gracias.
Eso es para tu enchilote enchiloso, pero yo.
Sauce and
tomato with chili and salad, sauce, lemon, I think mayo, ketchup,
what is this? Ah,
like onion, but
red.
different, yeah, red onion. Just the normal onion with chili. That's all.
That's all.
Una droga que quiera contratar gente ahorita con tratamiento